I'm here at Bandera Pass, which is about halfway between Bandera, Texas and Kerrville, Texas, and about several miles south of Camp Verde. And this was an old trading route. It's got a little inscription here you could read. It says, celebrated. There's a lot of cars going by. Yeah, celebrated Indian Pass known from the earliest days of Spanish settlement. Identified, wow, with many a frontier fight and many a hostile inroad. Old Ranger Trail from Medina to Guadalupe River and the United States Army route between the frontier posts followed this route through the mountains. There you go. There's a Great Western Trail marker. It's like somebody has run into this thing somehow. Holy smoke. Marking the Great Western Cattle Trail that ran from Mexico all the way up to Canada. Here's a historical marker about the Bandera Pass. I'm not going to read it because it'll take too long, so all you got to do is, I'm trying to go slow down it, but all you got to do is pause it every so often to read pretty interesting what all happened here. And there we go. So I'll tell you more about it later. I got some old maps. I'll give you GPS coordinates and things like that. It's interesting story. So yeah, bring you a picnic lunch. Come out here and watch the traffic go by.
Bandera Pass is a gorge cut by nature through the range of hills dividing the Guadalupe and Medina River valleys. This passageway through the hills doubtless has witnessed many unrecorded battles between Indian tribes or with other warring peoples in the centuries past. It must have long been a gateway for any people journeying northward or southward through that section of the country. The advance of an enemy through it must of necessity have been protested by defenders. It offered wonderful facilities for ambushing an enemy and was an ideal place for fighting battles of the kind familiar to pioneer settlers. Bandera Pass is about 500 yards long and 125 yards wide. The hills on each side are about 200 feet in height. Some ravines run down the mountain sides of the pass interior, and a few trees, bushes, and rocks are scattered around, once furnishing hiding places for the ambushers of Indian fighting. It was the scene of an important battle of the more than 40 engagements fought by Jack Hays and his Texas Rangers during Hayes' career as Texas Ranger Captain when he was protecting San Antonio and southwest Texas against robbers and savages. The pass is located about 15 miles south of Kerrville on the Bandera Road. According to A.J. Sowell, an early southwest Texas historian, this battle at the pass occurred in the year 1842. 40 Rangers, under Captain Hays, battling a large band of Comanche Indians variously estimated from 100 to 600 in number. While his company of Rangers was camped near San Antonio, Hays started out with 40 Rangers, intending to proceed up the Medina River Valley and on through Bandera Pass for a scout up the Guadalupe River Valley. A band of Comanche Indians under command of a chief was at the same time coming south on a raiding expedition. The Indians reached the pass ahead of the Rangers, and spying their approach several miles away, laid a well-concealed ambush on each side of the gorge, already described. Into this ambush Hays and his Rangers rode, the only time the captain was so trapped. The Ranger Company, unsuspecting danger, had penetrated to 1/3 of the distance through the pass when they were set upon by the Indians, giving their war whoops and firing rifle balls and arrows from all sides. Momentarily there was some confusion in the ranks of the Rangers. some of them having been shot from their saddles, and the horses were rearing and plunging in fright. Captain Jack Hays never lost his coolness and presence of mind in such emergencies. His commanding voice rang out strong and clear. "Steady, boys. We can whip them, no doubt about that. Dismount, tie your horses, fight them afoot." Soon a semblance of order was restored, and the Rangers were taking toll of the Indian warriors with their rifles and Colt's pistols, the latter something new and scary to the savages. Many old-timers say this Colt pistol, just out, greatly aided Hays and his men in their battles with Indians. One old Indian was reported to have commented, "The Rangers had a shot for every finger on the hand." The battle soon developed into hand-to-hand struggles between the Rangers and Indians. Finally, one of the Rangers and the Comanche chief grappled. A deadly knife contest ensued in which the chief was slain. This broke the morale of the Indians, who withdrew to the northern end of the pass, the Rangers falling back to the south entrance. The Indians kept up a wailing until late at night, meantime burying the chief and other slain warriors. When morning came, the Indians had disappeared. Hays and his men buried their dead and began the trip back to San Antonio, where the wounded received medical attention. And so was the Battle of Bandera Pass.